So live commerce is really fast becoming an e-commerce format to reckon with across the Asian context for sure. If you look at the success of live commerce in China, for example, 60% of the GMV on Taobao came from live commerce capability in 2021. And if you look across the countries in Southeast Asia or ASEAN, in every country in the social media space, 70 to 90% of the audiences are aware of live commerce already. Live commerce is a natural fit for certain product categories, especially like fashion or beauty, which is very visual in nature, as well as it's fit for the kind of audiences that is trying to attract, which is very young in nature, or already sort of like highly indexing on these social media spaces. The question then comes to live commerce and its applicability for CPG or FMCG kind of brands. Are consumers really in the frame of mind or interested in seeing live sessions selling them toothpaste or selling them noodles or selling them laundry detergents and sort of like other mundane product categories that we sort of like club into the whole CPG segment? And that there's a big question that the brand marketers are asking. Are they interested in using live commerce to sell brands such as these? So the first layer of the question really is about content, right, and execution. Content on live commerce essentially needs to be engaging and entertaining because these are all happening on social media. Brands per se have a plethora of stories to tell, and they've been doing that over several decades now in marketing, where they have these brand communications which drive affinity and desirability and engagement with the consumers, right? However, in the case of live commerce, what brands need to rethink of is how do they utilize these brand stories that they have to share with the consumers, almost like an upper funnel remit, if they can bring that to live commerce rather than just looking at it as a lower funnel opportunity to just keep selling, which is how most of the product categories currently are probably using live commerce, right? Now, there are opportunities for micro influencers to share a little bit about their own brand experiences in that live streaming opportunity. There are opportunities for the brand experts to who could be salespeople who are engaging in that particular brand to almost have like a podcast style communication which can keep the audience engaged and still sort of like communicate what the sort of like brand values are all about. What the brand need not do or should not be doing rather is placing staged ads, but actually creating content using the natural abilities of the content creators to drive that upper funnel remit of the brand in live commerce content. Now, the second thing about content in live commerce is consistency. One-off live streaming is really not going to be very helpful and really not going to be able to deliver any form of ROI to the brand. So in shaping together a live commerce strategy, what a brand needs to look at is how can I do this consistently? How can I create these brand stories and communication on a regular basis so that the users or the consumers are able to come back to it repeatedly and looking for not just the direct product benefits but almost those brand benefits that they're going to get out of it, right? Now, so the second layer really talks about the buyability, or will there actually be a sales conversion for FMCG kind of products on live streaming? Live streaming or live commerce is all about price offs or bundling, etc. And that's a hook that most of the product categories utilize because it's also almost always about impulse purchase, right? And this is not new, at least as far as FMCG brands are concerned, because price offs and bundling is a strategy that they have adopted for, throughout their marketing sort of like genesis across multiple different distribution channels. What it then boils down to is the sales volume. That's a metric that they actually need to look at, because conversion will happen, but will they have sufficient volume of conversion for them to actually justify and find an ROI for the effort and attention that they actually have to give in developing this new format of marketing effort on e-commerce? It then just comes down to the content, right? And the content having a certain amount of longevity beyond just that particular session of live streaming, because that's the beauty of live streaming, is that there is the opportunity to sell in that particular session itself, and that content then goes on to become like adding more content into the library of the brand, which is the brand channel on that particular channel, and it continues to service the e-commerce catalog that the brand has on the channel, therefore pulling in more and more conversion using that same live streaming content. So imagine a brand then has the ability to have built a wide variety of video sessions or video content that it has, and in each of them driving conversion opportunities on a repeated basis on e-commerce for them. So beyond just the very obvious data benefits that live commerce or live streaming offers for anyone who is actually marketing in that, to evaluate effectiveness and efficiency of that particular format, there are lots of other sort of benefits, especially for FMCG products categories in the space, in my opinion. There is the opportunity to do testing and validating new introductions or product launches, or product variants, flavors, for example, etc., on a very scaled basis to a very live audience, and getting real-time feedback. That's a very valuable thing that you can actually derive out of live streaming or live commerce kind of a format for FMCG brands. The second thing is the relative lack of competitive clutter in this particular space, at least as far as FMCG brands are concerned, right? So there is this huge opportunity for early entrants in the CPG category or brands in that particular space to get the undivided attention of their consumers at this point in time for those product categories, and also to leverage the technology and the services that are sort of supporting live streaming, live commerce landscape at this point in time, get them at a fairly easy price points at this point in time, because service providers are looking to hook in the big players and brands into this particular format at this point in time, and defray the sort of infrastructural costs they are investing in by bringing in the big players. So that's the other sort of really obvious opportunity that is available to FMCG brands looking to enter live commerce at this point in time.